I grew up in a pretty traditional, mid-century, Midwestern, middle-class Roman Catholic household. My dad had a Monday to Friday office job, and my mom stayed at home and raised us 4 kids. Dad took care of the cars, the lawn, and any repairs in the house, and Mom, she did everything else. She cooked, she cleaned, she shopped, she chauffeured us to endless doctor and dentist and sporting events. We never ate meat on Fridays and always went to church on Sunday mornings and had dinner at 3 p.m. sharp at my grandparents' house every single Sunday, returning home just in time to turn on the TV and watch Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color on a black and white TV. By a show of hands, who remembers Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color on a black and white TV? Our imaginations were critical. Yes, they were. Classic. We definitely had a routine and rhythm in our family. Everything was pretty predictable. That is, until my sister was born. She was born prematurely and had a very long stay in the hospital, requiring my mom to be there morning, noon, and night until she was all better. This meant that our normal routine was altered, and Dad began to take over some of Mom's jobs, like grocery shopping. Very foreign experience for this man. I must have been 8 years old at the time, a mere youth, not knowing at all how to act, when Dad took my 2 brothers and me to the grocery store. And wouldn't you just know it, but we 3 little boys, we were starving. Sidebar, 6, 7, and 8-year-old boys are always hungry. So what did we do? We picked a few grapes from the produce shelf. And guess who got caught stealing a perfectly delicious green grape and then foolishly said, "But I didn't eat it"? Yours truly, busted in the produce aisle. This was completely unacceptable to my father, who informed me in no small measure that I had just taken something that didn't belong to me. And he marched me up to the store manager to confess my crime and apologize. My 2 brothers, Mike and Bob, were loving every minute of my public humiliation and walk of shame. But you know what? Dad wanted me to wisely understand in a most memorable way that there is only one sin, only one, and that's theft. Every sin is a variation of theft. How wise of my dad to know this, a man who never completed college, to have such a thorough understanding of how the world works, justly, honorably, fairly. We could argue that he overreacted a bit. After all, it was just a little grape. But on the other hand, friends, my criminal career came to a screeching halt at the IGA in Springfield, Illinois at that very hour. And I'm proud to say I've never ever pilfered another grape or anything in the past 58 years. Lesson learned. Not only the hard way, but the compassionate way. From someone who loved me, who was looking out in advance for me all the days of my life. If my dad were still alive, I think I would call him today and thank him for wisely intervening as he did and teaching me a lesson with the wisdom of Solomon. I know it was just a tiny little grape, but he taught me an important life lesson about honesty, respecting the property of others, and obeying the very commands that we just sang together that we love, the 4th, the 7th, and the 8th, to honor the parents, to not steal, and to not lie. In his own way, Dad was being merciful to me by caring enough to teach me what I needed to be taught to be a responsible and disciplined and honest person, so that I could enjoy a good and rich life, confident in my ability to consciously know the difference between right and wrong, and to do the right thing all the days of my life. Dad was really helping my heart to become wiser, to treasure honesty and truthfulness, and to recognize that being a person of integrity is as honorable and valuable as it is holy, setting the stage for a later epiphany in life when I had matured in mind, heart, and spirit to understand this priceless pearl of wisdom. Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. There's something to think about in this new week. Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it always gets you the right ones. And friends, just because I'm a naturally curious person, did any of you ever take one little single grape from the produce department? Or am I the only person to have transgressed so greatly? Can anyone help me out? Am I 4, 5, 6, 7? Well, there's 8 of us. We'll all have coffee afterwards and speak about this. Today might be a very good day to think about those who have wisely taught us what it is that we need to know, so that we might be the men and women, the young men and women that we are this very day.